This is the luxury world. Get inspired with us today and tomorrow. It is the start of the year again, and Rolex has raised its prices, which should not come as a surprise. In this video, brought to you by the luxury world, we will be talking about the Rolex price hike. We will approach this topic from a unique perspective. We have examined the Rolex price increases over the past decade in comparison to other aspects of our lives. The results are intriguing, so let us take a closer look. So, whether you're a seasoned collector with a vault full of vintage submariners, a curious observer, or simply someone who appreciates the intricate workings of the luxury market, buckle up and prepare to embark on a journey into the fascinating world of Rolex and its ever-ascending price tag. If you have not subscribed to our channel, we encourage you to do so to stay informed about our upcoming videos. To spare you the trouble, the average price increase is 4.4 to 4.5%. For the Rolex Submariners, a black steel Submariner went from around $8,650 to $9,000, and a steel Daytona increased from $127 to $132. For steel sports models, the rise is around $3,000, $4,500, with a bit more for precious metal items. If we take a look at the current economic situation, we can say that the Rolex watches seem to sit somewhere in the middle, where other luxury non-essential items are found. The Rolex price increase over the last 10 years is justified when compared to other asset classes. However, one aspect that might stand out is the United Kingdom's salary increase of 28.5%. If you are currently living in United Kingdom, this may seem concerning, especially when compared to the much higher increases in the prices of goods we purchase. Let us examine these three watches: the black steel Rolex Submariner, the bluesy two-tone, and the steel Rolex Daytona, and examine their retail prices from 2014, which is a decade ago. We projected these prices forward to 2034 based on past data and observed trends. While these projected prices for the watches in 10 years may not be entirely accurate, it is intriguing to consider that a basic black steel Submariner could potentially cost £14,000. The bluesy will hike up to £21,000, and the steel Panda Daytona will cost £22,000 if the price continues to increase at the same rate as it did over the past decade. This might seem outrageous, especially when recalling what we were paying for these watches on the gray market just a year and a half or 2 years ago. Using this video as a reference point in the future will be interesting to see how accurate these projections turn out to be. However, it is hard to imagine Rolex consistently increasing prices every single year for the next decade, given how these projected prices appear excessively high. Money and its value change over time, and while the exercise highlights a significant increase in watch prices, it seems improbable for Rolex to follow such an aggressive pricing strategy. This kind of price evolution is common in the world of watches, but it emphasizes the changing dynamics of value over time. The phenomenon of price increases is not unique to watches. It occurs in various markets such as the housing market or cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, reflecting the changing dynamics of value over time. Considering this information, we pondered the reasons behind Rolex's tendency to raise the prices of their watches. The extended explanation revolves around the concept of inflation. Inflation is the upward movement in the prices of goods and services in our daily lives. This implies that money is a depreciating asset, and it is often advised not to keep money in the bank over time, as the value of money tends to decrease. While inflation rates might carry a negative connotation, moderate year-on-year inflation can be beneficial for the economy. It helps businesses remain profitable, and for individuals holding assets like Rolex watches, houses, or gold, it can contribute to an increase in their value over time. As a brief experiment, let us consider the price of a steel Submariner, which was £5,700 in 2014. Using an inflation calculator, this amount would be equivalent to around £7,500 in today's money. Interestingly, this is not too far off when comparing it to the current price increase of the Rolex Submariner, which is now £99,000. Rolex has increased the prices of their watches at a faster pace than the rate of inflation. For instance, if you had £5,700 in the year 1209, it would be equivalent to around £9 million in today's money. To put it in historical perspective, back in 1209 during King John's reign, his net worth was $5 million, a staggering amount for that time. The reason behind Rolex's consistent price hikes lies in the substantial annual increases in the costs associated with manufacturing. These include machinery, employee salaries, and utility bills. To ensure continual profitability, Rolex adjusts prices to match rising costs, leading to increased revenue year after year. It is worth noting that Rolex operates as a non-profit organization, not driven by profit-hungry directors. While they aim to grow the business, their focus is not solely on increasing stock prices or maximizing profits. However, despite being a nonprofit, Rolex consistently reports significant profits each year. Rolex increases prices annually because they can. People continue to buy their watches regardless of the price hikes. This strategy has been effective, given the strong demand for Rolex timepieces. On a market note, there has been a noticeable shift. Advertisements offering precious metal watches like Skydwellers, Yachtmasters, and Submariners are facing challenges in sales compared to previous years. This decline is attributed to the fact that these watches now trade below their retail prices, making potential buyers hesitant to invest in a luxury watch that may not hold its value. This shift in market dynamics has led to increased difficulty in selling watches that were once in high demand. This market observation is truly intriguing. If you are genuinely interested in acquiring these watches for personal use, it is a fantastic time, truly remarkable. However, if you intend to flip them for profit, the current market conditions might not be favorable. It leads us to contemplate the symbiotic relationship between the secondary market's performance, authorized dealers' success, and Rolex's overall prosperity. While jesting about gray market dealers having a heavy hand in the market, there is some truth to the notion that their influence can impact the success of the watch industry. Notably, advertisements are not performing as well, due to changes in the secondary market dynamics. Looking ahead, if Rolex continues its pattern of annual price increases, there is a concern that younger audiences might be gradually priced out of the market. A steel Submariner priced at £99,000 is undoubtedly a substantial amount of money. While Rolex is a luxury brand and its products are non-essential, the potential exclusion of younger, aspiring customers may pose challenges to the brand's long-term sustainability. Considering the secondary market, it is worth exploring how Rolex's price hikes affect it. Initially, one might think it could squeeze the profit margins for gray market dealers as retail prices rise. However, the reality is that both retail and gray market prices tend to increase in parallel. Consequently, there remains a margin for watch businesses, and the value of assets purchased years ago often appreciates over time. Just like any other product, Rolex watches are subject to the cost increases associated with inflation. This includes rising costs for materials, labor, and other production expenses. To maintain their profit margins, Rolex adjusts their prices accordingly. To sum up, this observation implies that if you made a watch purchase in the past, it has been appreciated, partly due to Rolex's ongoing price hikes. For those considering buying a Rolex, acting sooner could prove advantageous, as delaying might entail dealing with even steeper prices down the road. What are your thoughts on the Rolex price hike topic we shared in this video? We would like to see your answers and opinions in the comments section. Remember to follow us too and give us a thumbs up. Once again, this is the Luxury World, and we look forward to seeing you again in our future videos.